I'm going to translate you.
Oh,
No.
you?
Yes. So go slowly.
Translate. No capiche English? What's happening? What is happening? No capiche English? Wow, 10%. Do I need this? Can you hear me at the back?
Potete sentirmi in fondo?
You can hear me at the back?
Mi potete sentire?
Is that okay? Yes. Perfect, I don't need that.
Ok, non ho bisogno del microfono.
Okay.
Quindi-
Thank you, Lucrezia. I've been told the camera is only up to here. So
Grazie,
let me
Lucrezia.
wander around and get the feel of this place. Okay. How many people over here are actually doing blockchain business?
Quante persone qua stanno veramente facendo business con la blockchain?
Only half. Only half.
Solo la metà.
Wow. Okay. So the other people are doing traditional business,
Quindi le altre persone stanno facendo business tradizionale?
maybe looking to go into blockchain.
Forse vorrebbero addentrarsi nella blockchain? Sì.
Okay, very good, very good. See, I'll get that bit. Okay, my name is Nuru Patel. Thank you, Lucrezia.
Il mio nome è Nuru Patel. Grazie Lucrezia.
Okay, for those of you who didn't get to Google me or something, because I know a couple of people said, oh, we Googled you.
Per quelli che mi hanno già visto su Google e hanno verificato chi sono,
So I started in the IT industry and technology based with some of the biggest blue chip companies in the world.
io ho iniziato a lavorare nel settore IT con le più grandi aziende del settore.
Okay, this could be a very long presentation because of translation. You sure you don't want subtitles underneath and getting to you?
Questa potrebbe essere una lunga presentazione, quindi se volete possiamo anche mandare
Because
dei video con
45 minutes times 2 is 90 minutes then.
Ci prenderà il doppio del tempo.
So what are we doing? Subtitles or translate? Subtitles? So you want her to carry on?
Quindi
Correct?
volete che io continui con le traduzioni oppure mandiamo a tutti il video con le traduzioni di quello che lui sta
Do a
dicendo in
quick poll.
italiano?
Do a quick poll. So what do they want? Subtitles
Cosa
or...
facciamo? Alzate le mani. Traduzioni simultanee o video che vi mandiamo con i sottotitoli? Ok.
Better, right? Thank you. Sorry, I like to solve problems. That was on the spot solving a problem. Okay? So that's why I am a disruptor. Okay? So those of you who've heard of Sun Microsystems, Capish English? Okay, Sun Microsystems, Sun stands for Stanford University Network. That's where internet was created, for those people who didn't know. Okay, so I worked for that company, and my previous bosses, when Java was brought in, those of you who've heard of Java, was the instrument, we said, that will make internet and global communications with applications alive. Okay? What we mean by that is in those days, the world communicated but through traditional ways. But with the internet, what happened was communications globally in terms of transactions, so people could actually order things and get it delivered in any part of the world, all with the use of internet sales. In those days, we used to call them portals, and then get it delivered at home. So what's missing today? The currency for digital, which is why we are all here as well, in my view, is missing. So the digital currency now is what I call the fuel for the internet. That's why, you know, inventions and innovations doesn't happen every day. But that was one of the biggest innovations that happened, the internet. It changed the shape of the world. People can travel, buy tickets, get delivery of goods, services from around the world from their sofa, right? What's now happening with crypto and blockchain is they can actually transact with their global currency with that. And that's what's happening in the future. For those of you who don't buy into crypto and blockchain, that is the best reason I can give, okay? So, my background with Sun Microsystems and being a serial entrepreneur, I've always had this thing about creating a paradigm shift. Because if you don't disrupt and you're not actually shifting and doing just small changes, you will never invent something. Big inventions and big things only happen when you do big leaps, okay? And that's why I see the world and the information is now only going to be held through what everyone sees. We used to call it the Java phone in those days, okay? So we had this vision, even in those days, that you'd have a Java phone and people need power to their hands rather than having to go to the office like in the traditional days, do this, do that, find out, and look at the waste of time. So what's happening now, the new generation, they have other pressures. So their pressure is their jobs generally are not absolutely secure like they used to be. People can go and look for jobs on the internet like this, get offers like this. You know, LinkedIn, gosh, the number of attacks I get every day is silly, right? Please come and help us do this job, do you know, do you know? In the early days it was difficult, right? So everything is happening through the mobile now. People don't have to go anywhere. With that comes the social pressures and the social related problems, which is no jobs which are secure, people's location, you could be anywhere in the world and work from anywhere in the world. Meaning, why even own a house? So this is where the world is going. Why own a house and stay in the same place? So the world is going, for those of you who are in real estate, I know one or two of you are, it's into shared accommodation. Why did Airbnb take off? There's going to be a new generation of that as well. And all of this will be available on your mobile, okay? So the mobile is your future best friend. Already is, but it'll get worse, okay? Finances. I don't know about you, but I can pretty much guess, how many of you have more than one credit or debit card? How many of you have more than one or two bank accounts? Probably a lot of you, okay? How many of you have more than one or two savings plans or savings accounts or pension plans or things like that? More than half of you, 100%. Etc., etc., okay? You could have a... How many people on more than one exchange doing crypto trading? How many people doing multiple wallets? It's a nightmare to manage, to log in, log out, go on to the next one. I can't remember passwords, so you've got to write it down somewhere, which makes it very insecure. So the world is going towards what I call omni-channel, single interface to all your personal finances and your wealth management, okay? We've already created that platform under Wealth Tech Bank and Wealth Tech Fund. So one app through the mobile which helps solve that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, okay? The second vision we have is omni-channel for retail and loyalty. What do I mean by that? You know, we have so many even loyalty cards. We have so many retail outlets selling us virtually the same kind of products and services, albeit different fashion or under a retail outlet, you know, like a Galeria Lafayette or some of the big brand stores who have multi-brands in the same store. So everyone's taking a cut. Everyone's taking, you know, middleman commission in all of these places. And especially in the clothing or even the food industry, there's too many middle people. And what blockchain is doing is allowing people all to have access from multiple suppliers by cutting out a lot of the middleman. That's where most of the new technologies are being built just now. They used to be called portals in the early days, you know, so like the Amazons of the world, where you could buy any name product, any branded products through Amazon. It's going to go to a next level where the actual supplier will try and deliver to you on your doorstep without too many middlemen. Make sense? And in retail as well, the vision is, you know, so imagine you are walking somewhere, and we did this application in Sun with the Java app 20 years ago, where they take photographs of you from here, here, sideways, backwards, everywhere, okay? Once that photograph's taken, you can go to specialist retail outlets and say, find me my pair of jeans with this brand, this, and they have your dimensions anyway. Your length, waist, height, inside leg for men, things like that, okay? And immediately you will see what you look like in that piece of clothing, suit, shirt, whatever it is, okay? However, the world is now going through virtual reality and augmented reality, where it will look like there's a person in front of you, and you can spin them around and what have you, to see what you actually look like in that piece of clothing. Okay? Or the client services person could be sitting there and talking to you. I'm looking for furniture that is in my living room and something for my bedroom, or I'm looking for something for the patio. Show me what it would look like, and you'll be able to see it visually in your own living room. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's where it's going. And imagine that all the middlemen and middle stores, most of the banks and retail outlets and all of these things we see today on the high street, in my view, half of them will disappear. It's already happening, and I said this 3 years ago, that 50% of the bank branches will close very soon, in 5 years, and it's already happening. Why? Because it's obvious. They have multiple big high glass ceilings, they cause the crisis, they take the commissions, they get paid, the citizen bails them out, the government bails them out, but it's not them, it's the citizen and taxpayers are bailing them out. Not fair, right? That's why you get a lot of these licensing and regulation people stopping this train of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Why? Because it's going to affect their jobs. I'm not shy to say it, but if you think about it and really think that the banks and finance industry is by far, and real estate agencies, by far is the biggest money spinner in this world. Over 300 trillion in terms, 300 trillion between banks and real estate. That's the size of that market. So if you imagine how much they lobby the government, the banks, and all the other people in that cycle to say, don't do this, blockchain is ugly, cryptocurrency is ugly, you know, it is, the best one is, it is money laundering. Dare I say it, in Italy, it's by far in whole of Europe the most accommodating, you might not know this, but most accommodating in terms of mobile and digital shopping in Italy compared to most parts of, all parts of Europe, highest amount, including retail stores and things like that. So money laundering, if you look at what's happening in cryptocurrencies, it's not even 1,000 times to the money laundering that happens through the dollar itself. Okay, so it happens, right? And you know the scenarios happening even on your own doorstep. It's more with real money than with digital. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It happens everywhere. So that should not be the reason to stop innovation. The reason is because it's going to affect their jobs. Okay? Then look at the vision for loyalty. Okay? How do we get loyalty to a brand? Nowadays, the new generation, everything's at your fingertips. Why should you only fly with British Airways or Alitalia or whatever? They must do something for you. Yeah? Be it their service, be it more points, be it more air miles, be it whatever it is. The good upgrades, their telephone support is good, things like that. Many reasons. But if they mess up in any one of those, boom, you move to the next guy. Same with your retail stores, same with your loyalty program people. So the loyalty thing these days, to get to brand loyalty at the highest level, okay, to be a real advocate of that brand, in my view, now it's click in, click out. 2 clicks away and you lose your loyalty. So what is happening, and a lot of people are doing, is where more than 50% of loyalty points generally are not used. So they get it to the wayside. So what we've got is how to bank your unbanked loyalty points. Yeah, so we've got consolidation of that loyalty, and I'll talk in detail about it in a minute, whereby all that loyalty programs get converted into real money that you can spend all through the same interface. So in the early days, you have to call so many people, or even today, please, I can do this, can I do this? So much time consuming, so it gets wasted. So the world has lost patience these days. Everyone wants results pretty fast. That's why you see this change. Okay? Now, it's a lot of information there, but let me take you through what I call reasonable solutions that exist today, but also happening in the next 2 to 3 years. So I don't talk about future vision today, but I will. As David said, at the next Miami event, I'll say at the next cruise event. So at the cruise event, I will tell you what products are behind all of these as well, all right? But for those of you who ask me, we can talk about it later just because of time. So if you look at around here, it's all the banking related things. All around here is the loyalty based things, okay? So talking about loyalty, my view, a loyalty happens when you do something that you say you will do very quickly. So if you're sitting over here just now and you haven't got time to go shopping in Dubai, because Dubai Mall, I don't know how many of you people walked in Dubai Mall? Okay, majority of you. It is hard work, right? It's a lot of walking, right? And if you're looking for one thing, it is even harder, right? Okay? So why not have virtual reality through your mobile and say, I'm looking for something. And Dubai Mall is probably one of the best in the world I've seen in terms of that information. It will tell you all the names of the department stores. But what it doesn't tell you is what their stock levels are or what kind of products they have online at that moment. But that's where the world is going. Virtual walking around Dubai Mall. So we did this for exhibitions before. So this technology already exists. So imagine having a virtual goggles, and through your mobile, you're actually walking to that store. It says, you want Dolce & Gabbana, go over there. You want Louis Vuitton, go over there, right? And you actually go and see it as if you're walking around and you see the store. And not only do you see the store, a sales assistant pops up and you could have him literally like talking to you in virtual reality. He's talking to you. Hello, sir, can I help you? Hello, madam, what would you like today? I see you're looking for this. This technology exists today. Okay? Oh, yes, we have it in stock. Would you like to see it? Yes, you click. Through the phone, you will be able to say, accept, take. Would you like to try it? Yes. And because your photograph and everything's pre-programmed, you will appear in there as if you're wearing that piece of garment. Okay? Now that you see yourself and you look at yourself from all angles, just like how you look in the mirror and do it, yeah? Only the women will take 2 times longer. Sorry. Okay? So you will appear it, and then you say, would you like to buy it? Yes. And you go slide, slide, slide. I will use my American Express or MasterCard, Visa, whichever card, and it will go paid from Santander Bank or Millennium Bank or whatever, pop, 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 done. That technology exists today. Okay? Only thing is, people haven't implemented it. Why haven't they implemented it? Because of all these lobbying and things that I'm talking about from various people. It will create unemployment, it will create this, it will create that. Okay? That's one of the main reasons. But it will happen. Why? Because competition will come in and you only need 1 or 2 people. Look what Amazon's doing just now with even drone-based delivery within half an hour, 1 hour. Have you heard of that program? Okay? So when this happens, the other suppliers have to react or die. Very simple. Okay? So they will start doing this. I will give you another better example. So that earns loyalty. Are we okay with that? You would love that. Why? Because you've saved yourself so much time aching. My legs were aching, my ankle is still aching, walking around just looking for something the other day. I was looking for that t-shirt I wore yesterday, those of you noticed it. All right? So loyalty happens through saying, I'm going to save you time, I'm going to save you cost. Think how much they use in advertising budget to gain the client. Okay? They spend a lot of money. Why not say, if you shop with me, I'm going to give you a discount for buying this. Why? Because it didn't cost them anything. You've already said in your profile, I like women's clothing, I like this type of clothing, I like travel, I like this type of restaurant. So it has your profile, so it's actually sending you that based on what you require. You can turn it off if you want. We are actually going a step further than that. We are actually sharing our profit for that advertising with the users. So actually make it happen. Because if you think about it, how do Facebook and Google make money? All through advertising, okay? Billions. So what we've said in our banking app and the ad chain app is we will give 1/3 to the client who uses it on all adverts they look at, 1/3 to charity, and 1/3 to support the platform. Fair deal. Okay? And it'd be nice, whilst you get the ads, you get paid for it, right? Google's, Facebook's, they don't share that with you. All right. So that's one area. So that gives you customer care, it gives you all of those things, and if you want to return it, and you could say, oh, by the way, I'm in Sofitel, deliver this thing over here, and they will get delivered over here. Fantastic, right? Whilst you're in a conference having a chat with Luigi. All right. Then here is another example for loyalty. Everything you buy, spend is just one click away. Okay? Everything you buy and spend. So you get your points from the loyalty program all into one consolidated place. You get your money and cash back all from the same thing, irrespective of anything. You get paid for all the ads that's coming to you. So who wouldn't do this, right? No brainer. Let's take then on the top. I talked a little bit about this, which is what I call the awareness side. So how are you aware what's good for you? A, based on your size that you've put in, B, on your interest areas, and you'll get pushed things whilst you're just walking, either through virtual reality or even physical walking. Oh, I see you're now near Louis Vuitton shop and it's got this handbag that you like. Oh, I see you now near Zegna or whatever the brands are or whatever, and it's got this thing you may be looking for. So it's all based on proximity-based tagging on your mobile. This technology exists as well, by the way, okay? So that's not new. However, what doesn't exist is someone to bring it all together under one umbrella with your banking, payments, all those engines together in a single user interface. One login, one set of passwords, one set of fingerprint or eye recognition, which is the best form of security you can get. If you lose your card, we have a smart card, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. Everything's backed up, okay? I talked a little bit about the choice side, but let me add to what I say about the choice. So now what happens is the new generation who are technology savvy, they don't have to be married to a particular brand, be it Air Miles type of brands or even clothes type of brands, because you will find a choice to who cuts a lot of the middleman and who will deliver that service to you with that product on your doorstep. Okay? Why waste time? People have more important things to do. I would rather sit and have a relaxed time than go out shopping for 3 hours. Once in a while it's okay, but not all the time, right? Right, next. So this is our banking vision. All right, so if you look at here, let's look at here. So the banks these days make a lot of money, we know that. Because they have a lot of overheads. But if you look at digital banks, and I think David talked about crypto exchanges and how much money they are making, what we are doing is we've already got a gold-backed bank, okay? So it's secure, backed with gold. Currencies move up and down. We've got it stabilized just through gold, okay? Going forward, it'll be real estate, but it's stabilized through that. We will have our own coin as well as a currency. So to buy and sell anything in the world through that currency, which is stable, because it's backed with gold. It's not going up and down based on who buys, who sells. Solid. Okay? And we'll have all the digital banking services that you want. Yeah? We will have our own exchange. So when you transfer money from euros to dollars to pounds to whatever currency, yens, whatever, it does it at the interbanking rate through our own exchange. Yeah? One of the things I think David was speaking, when he was speaking about it, didn't understand it, but was the exchanges make a lot of money through the pips, yeah, which is the buy and the sell spreads, okay? And those pips are a lot of money. 1 billion in 2 years for, for Binance is a lot of money. And then you look at Coinbase and Bitfinex and OneDesk and all the rest of it. We've crunched it all the way down because we're saying, hang on, it's our own bank, it's our own exchange. It's kind of like the technology is paid for. Why not give the client the best exchange rate? You can take your card, your smart card, put it in any ATM anywhere in the world and remove it at local currency at the interbanking rates. So all the exchange houses and all that will be seriously disrupted. Same with the banks, will be seriously disrupted. When you want to wire money, you wire it at virtually 0 cents, 0.004 cents to be precise. We're going to offer it free for X number of transactions and then just charge a nominal fee. This will disrupt banking. So this creates loyalty. If someone offered you that, you wouldn't say no to that, right? Would you? Because banks, we know, I pay £25 per wire transfer from a UK bank, right? It's a lot of money. Okay, when you do so many transactions. And the same with exchange rates. If you notice the exchange rates they give you for different currencies, it's a big spread through banks or credit cards. It's a very big spread. So we crunch it all down. Hence, you just onboard clients. All right? The other thing is customer service. I can't go through all of these, but we will on the cruise, right, Luigi? Right? He's told me to sell the cruise, by the way. Okay, so the next one I'll touch on is, let me touch on any particular interest. Who wants me to cover which part? Okay, let's do customer intelligence, okay? Where's customer intelligence? That's an interesting one. Okay, so all of this, business intelligence and all that, okay? Imagine the amount of data the banks have on you, okay? They know who you're sending the money to, they know which stores you spend, they know which flights you take, they know which countries you go, they know what you buy, they know your monthly rentals, that you have a mortgage or you have bills going to various, they know so much data. What do they do with it apart from giving you a printed statement? Nothing. Nothing, all right? Even 20 years ago, we had data mining and analysis tools. All right? 15 years ago, when I left the IT industry full time and went into my own fund and property management and property development and all that, we had predictive-based analysis. So imagine now if your bank came to you and said, hey, I noticed that you've been spending X% on travel, Y% in restaurants, Z% on wealth creation or whatever it is, the whole analysis. And based on that, we could recommend how to save money or diversify in here, predicting you might spend more to help you create this pot for your next month's spend. If you invest it here or do this. Just a recommendation. Would you be interested in that? Of course. By the way, we'll even give you coupons if you spend with them. And you will get paid on those adverts that are coming out to you. Do you want adverts on these things that you generally spend? So if you're regularly going out to certain types of fine dining cuisine, do you mind if we send you some adverts or promotions from that restaurant? You won't say no. So whenever those restaurants are advertising, we will share the revenue of your advertising with them. Okay? Oh, would you like to talk to someone how you want to invest on the next thing? You wear your glasses again, and the bank assistant comes up, virtual reality. And you talk to them, none of this live chat stuff, right? So you actually like in front of the representative talking to them. We've taken it a step further. We call it the AI-based banking assistant. So through that, you don't need to speak because it costs a lot of money to have a big call center. Yeah? I'm not saying get people out of the jobs. I'm talking pure disruption and pure innovation and how to make the customer happier and how to make the customer have a better journey with their finance partner and saving themselves money and adding value to them and making money for them. That's our vision. So that assistant would come in and say, oh, I see you trade with X, Y, and Z. Instead of trading there, do you know we have our own exchange where the pips differences are compared on a daily, hourly basis, and we get the best rates and we give the lowest spread pips for anything you want to do, be it forex trading, digital currency, or whatever. Boom, and you do it. Same thing with other investment plans, with so many others, all right? So that's on the business intelligence and predictive and spend analysis. That's already happening, we already have that, right? How are we doing for time? I started 15 minutes late, I know that, so I've got 15 minutes, correct? Yes. All right. Let's pick another one, another solution. So smart card, okay? How many people have heard of over-the-counter trading, OTC? Anyone heard of OTCs here? Wow, okay, very, very few. OTC in the crypto world, or in any world, is when the person says, I have something to sell, I said, I have the money to buy that product. Currently, it happens through a big exchange, or a marketplace, or lawyers getting involved. But a lot of middle people who are all taking 1%, 2%, 5%, 10% to transact, to make that transaction happen. Commission, okay? It's a lot of money when you're talking in the billions, how much commission gets paid out. So what we've created is an OTC, over-the-counter platform that does all of that through smart contracts, where someone shows proof of product, show proof of funds, proof of stake, if it's an asset that they're buying, and the transaction gets done like that at a fraction of the cost. We've taken it a step further. We've developed a card where you can actually enter which currency you want to transact in. So it's like your wallet, but on a card. It depends on a mobile phone, obviously, being connected to a phone, but directly card to card. The person says, look, on my storage, cold storage on the card, I have X amount of Bitcoins or Ripples or whatever it is, I will send you this, how much will you pay for it? So you cut all the exchanges out. And all those OTC traders out. So show me how much you have. Here, look. Show me the money. Here, look. Boom, boom, transferred. Imagine the size of that market alone. Billions. Billions, nobody knows. All the big transactions. Why, for most of us who've suffered last year in the crypto world, a lot of the big guys and the big whales are coming in because they've realized, even though they made comments that in the crypto space, it's a hoax, it's this, it's a fraud, because they know their banks are at stake now. And what's happening is, some of them, I won't name them, have been buying them through this OTC way of dealing. In large volumes, in the billions, they are buying them. And that's how they buy them. So OTC trading as part of your banking services is what we're doing. So that will make it even more legal, faster, proper proof of funds, proof of stake, proof of product. Yeah, all of it's verified. Right, let's move on to, I know what I wanted to talk about, sorry. I wanted to talk about the concierge and all of this, okay? So your banks today, unless you are a member of the, some sort of a paid service, wouldn't give you insurance, travel insurance, health insurance when you're traveling, or even loyalty points for banking with them. If your bank says, just give me one flat fee and we'll cover you for 120 days, a year, for all your travel insurance, lack of flight, hotel rooms, whatever. You take it, no? For a small fee. American Express and all these big companies charge between 500 to more than £1,000 every year. Okay, so we've crunched it down to less than 200. Because concierge services are the same anywhere. You call someone, please book me a flight to, I want to hire a yacht to have a party, whatever it is the same everywhere. Literally anything you want, your personal assistant. Now imagine seeing that personal assistant in a virtual reality as your own personal assistant. Fantastic, right? So this is what and where the world is going. I've got lots more examples, but 90% of stuff I've talked about there exists today. It doesn't exist under one umbrella. Why? Because almost any entrepreneur out there will tell you, just do one thing and focus. Focus on just one thing. Do one thing, but do it really well. Why? Because doing it all together is bloody difficult, right? It's very difficult. We are not into the easy way. We've been doing this for 3 years. So when you do the difficult things and you do the disruptions, that's when you make a difference. And not only are we giving that 1/3 away to charities, we also have our own charity fund, which is on blockchain. Majority of foundations out there, I know of even 60-70% go to them for operations. Ours is 100% guaranteed through the blockchain that it actually goes to the charity itself. Okay? We've got 5 minutes. I left for questions. Hit me with questions. Anyone? Don't be shy. Lucrezia had one for me. You shy as well. Any questions? Any questions? Any subject? Entrepreneurship, blockchain, you.
What is, in your opinion, concierge future and why?
Oh, very good question. Did you pay him for that?
My question.
A free consultancy. He told me about this. He told me about it. Free consultancy. I heard about that one. Okay, I'll give you my honest view.
Attention for
I'll give you my honest view, okay? And no one's paid me, no one's doing anything for me. I am not a partner, I'm not anything, but I like it so much. And both Luigi and Lucrezia have been talking to me to be on the board of directors or an advisor or something like that, which I will consider. I'll tell you why I like it, okay? One of the things I put in there for loyalty and a single way of earning loyalty is when you bring value to the person will use it. So what they have got is a model where buyers and sellers can do transactions where they want, and if they don't want or they can't, they can recommend someone else they know who might do a transaction, and all parties are happy and they get paid. Okay? Because the world has become so big globally, but so small because of the internet. Okay? So small. So people know people from all over the world. So what they are doing absolutely will help people, A, make money. It becomes a community. And what I think they should focus on going forward is get really international, Capish English for a start. Okay? And they will never do it alone. Look at collaborations to do some of the other parts of the picture. So I will talk to them about how to integrate with our banking and exchange, for example. Right? You can't do it alone. This journey, if anyone tells you that blockchain, you can do the whole thing on your own, forget it. You have to have collaborations. You have to have collaborations. So I can bring a lot of that to CoinShare for the collaboration to make it into nice single omni-channel, one interface to the customer, and also the back-end stuff, make it look a lot better than what it is currently. Okay? You will never finish the job. The day you think you've finished the job is the day you start dying. I've been in some companies like that, Siemens, Nokia's, Motorola's of the world, okay? And I've seen some of this, what happens when you stand still, that's when you die. So you've got to carry on, reinvent and re-innovate. Constantly reinvent, re-innovate. This market, they might think they've cracked it just now. In 6 months, I can guarantee you that there are so many people who will be doing similar things to attack that market. So you have to collaborate. You can't have the resource to do it. So that's one thing I don't see, but that's where they need to focus as well. One of few things. But as a whole, what they're doing is absolutely fantastic. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anything else? Paid, unpaid consultancy? Yes. Oh, I'm already doing a free consultancy for you later on. I'm cheap, by the way. He said, oh, I'll get you a shisha and something to eat or drink. I want to pick your brains. I said, all right, come. Hit me.
I really didn't understand how the client business intelligence work in a all-one bank account.
How the client business intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. So if you think about all the data that you have about the client, you know what kind of spend he has and what type of income he has, okay? So all the multiple places where he gets his income from and all the multiple places he spends, all right? With that data, you can do various mining and predictive analysis with that, okay? Meaning, first you categorize it. Travel, health, restaurants, shopping, bills, la la la, okay? As well, I want shisha as well, yeah. Okay, so then you go into, based on that, they even see which stores you've been into or who you buy your even energy, okay? Your electricity, gas, whatever, okay? They know that. Now, let me tell you, there are so many people who advertise directly and spend millions and billions in advertising to get the client, correct? Why don't they just go to the place like the bank who knows what people are spending, where, and then say, instead of us giving billions in marketing, we will give you X amount for doing this with your client. Now me as a client, I can choose whether I want to see these ads or not. I can switch it off and I can switch it on. Why would I switch it on? I'm getting paid for the adverts I see. 1/3 of those adverts I'm getting paid for. Okay? Why wouldn't I do it? Especially it's on things that I'm interested in. So an energy company, for example, and you can do this for any market, would say, did you know there's an energy consolidator called NL who will cut 10% of your energy bills and you switch everything through that? And I'm sure you have that in Italy as well, right? Because these people buy in bulk, 10%, right? Discount. Would you say no to that? No. And by the way, you didn't have to go out looking for it. It's come to you based on your spend. And the bank will say, not only that, you get 33% of the ad, so your actual discount is even more. Yeah? So coupon less, discount. Your advertising revenue from it, share for accepting ads. 3, they will say, by the way, based on that savings, we recommend you, or we could recommend you to where you can put those savings. Here, which will earn you some money as well, and interest or whatever it is. Who would say no to that? So that's business intelligence, AI-based stuff. And if you'd like to speak to someone, you do the live chat, but you, with knowledgeable artificial intelligence-based live chat, who knows this data, like a real advisor, pre-programmed, but it learns once it gets so on, to say, based on our experience, if you invest here, you go here, here's the 5-year track record of it, here's this, here's that, without the need of a real human being. Why don't you give that benefit back to the client in that savings? Yeah? Is that a good example?
Yeah.
All right. I've got hundreds I can give you, but hope that helps. Any others? Speak now or no more free consultancy. All right. Thank you very much, Lucrezia. Hope that was good.